Dr. Rashid Umar, Joa Abrams, Chairman of the Masjid, Riyad Nayar, Edgar Solia, and then Themba Budwabe. Themba, you passed me a ball this morning, and I caught it. And I'm glad that I have an executive member here with me that will see that all those heroes of yesteryear will get a suite at Newlands. Let me tell you something else about Newlands later, but let me first welcome the dignitaries also. They're my very good friend, Mr. Francois Davids, and of course Ronald Bantom. Ladies and gentlemen, Riyad, my brother asked me yesterday, when I watched the match, were you supporting, who would you like to win? And I said to him, the Crusaders. Because I cannot support a team in 2017 playing with 3 people of color only. I once walked out of the suite at Newlands when there was only 2 players of color. At that time I was the deputy president. And the then white CEO said to me, you will never do it again. I said to him, you don't dictate to me, I will do it. Transformation is not negotiable. Not negotiable at all. I see so many well-known faces here. People that really contributed to non-racial rugby. And excuse me for not mentioning your name. My sincere apology for being late. We celebrated this morning at our church Luther Decade. It means 500 years of Lutheranism. I want to thank you very much for the invitation to be part of this auspicious occasion. Something that should be done on a regular basis. Thank you also for the leadership of this masjid for taking the initiative to present such an event today. Sometimes we miss very important occasions because of commitments elsewhere. And today I'm a very sad and disappointed man that I, through difficult circumstances, had to miss the janazah of the late Sally Fredericks. Sally Fredericks, Lipper as it was affectionately known, was a great man. What a great rugby player. Every time he ran out on the field, Sally made a statement. I believe it was a statement of resistance, a statement of steadfastness, a statement of being uncompromising. With this example, he demonstrated that he was a true fighter for equality in sport. Fighter for non-racialism in rugby, a game that we all so dearly love. If we look at the circumstances of today and the situation that we face in South African rugby, one must ask the question, what happened? Is this the unity we wanted? Why is a certain section of our people resistant to change? This certain section of the community, both people can call them part of our community, but a certain section of the peoples of South Africa lost their church. They are about to lose the economy. They lost their education from 18 education departments to one single education department. They lost their residential areas. They practically lost everything. But they cling on to rugby because they believe that rugby is their religion. If they lose rugby, they've lost everything. Now, if the newspaper reports and the media reports yesterday planned to blacken my weekend or my Sunday, Imam Rashid, this function makes it for me. This function will make it for me and will pick me up as I stand here. And as a God-fearing community, all of you, I want you to know that my executive and I are going through a tough time. And I want you to pray over us and pray with us so that we win this the battle that we are facing. Shall I say inshallah?
Ameen.
Newspapers yesterday and today told the world that Remgro will leave Western Province. The result of that would be we will be forced to pay back 44 million rand. Yes, the figure is correct. Some fool wrote that it's 80 million rand, but I forgive him because I believe there's something wrong up here. We did not continue with the partnership because the leadership of Western Province refused to be relegated to dedicated zombies. We did not fall for that because we were told you say nothing in South African Rugby Union meetings unless you have our permission. We refused to do that. We did not want to bow to their pressure and allow them to take over by taking 74.5% of the shareholding of Western Province, relegating us to nothing. Years ago in America, a specific lady said no to bus apartheid. She stood her ground. She won the case. And today, she's a free person. The Western Province leadership, I promised this morning in this holy place, will be steadfast like a Sally Fredericks. And all those who played this game and passed on. There's such a nice word in Afrikaans. Onwankelbaar. Meneer Bandom, is ek reg? Onwankelbaar. We will not allow the outside forces to move us away from Newlands without resistance. And if there's any journalist this morning in this gathering, you have my permission to write that. We fought for Newlands to play there and to take up our rightful place. We will not give it away to white monopoly capital of Springboard. Not at all. I want to emphasize the fact that the people of color at Newlands are now the 100% shareholder of Western Province Rugby Football Union. It will be business as usual. We have the expertise in the boardroom. We have the leadership in the boardroom. We don't need other people to tell us what is the difference between a 10-cent coin and a 5 note. We know that. As the 100% shareholder, the decision making will be in our hands. We are the only stadium in South Africa that has a salaam. You know, one day this white lady said, "But wat die mense hulle maak geraas. Sê hulle moet stil bly as hulle die game kyk." Ek sê daai mense bid. Bly jy stil dat hulle kan bid. So what you know about this. I ask your chairman of the masjid to take charge of the salah room at Newlands, so that you can watch your game in peace and also pray to your God in peace and pay your dues to Him that looks after you, that cares for you, and that guides you along your life. In conclusion, let us as a gathering today be bold enough to pass a resolution that the Green Point track be called the Sally Frederick Stadium. Let us take that decision today. Let's get a small group together that can write to the City Council first thing in the morning, instructing them to change the name to the Sally Frederick Stadium. Thank you once again for the invitation. Thank you for having me. I'm not a regular here. I believe I'm a hastelet. Thank you very much.
Shukran, and thank you very much, Mr. Abram. To Mr. Wakefield and all the honored guests here today. You know, I think we've left out a few, Mr. Abrams. When I entered here, I felt as if I was at City Park many years ago. And you know, we also heard the Ottomans team performing here this morning, and they are also a very, very good team when it comes to the Malay choirs. They did exceptionally well, although they would claim that they were robbed this year. We all agree with you, but we would never ever have had people from Cape Town and Western Province in a city and suburban area years ago. And I think it's pays testimony to what the work of this wonderful progressive institution has done in breaking down those barriers. And we need to commend Imam Rashid and his committee and Mr. Abrams on this wonderful initiative to honor players across all cultures. I'd like to welcome an old adversary, Themba Ludwaba, and this morning. Themba was a fearsome lock forward, especially at Vierplaas in Port Elizabeth, with 20,000 spectators chanting his name. So it was very, very difficult times when we played there at KwaZulu. Edgar's here, and I would like Edgar to stand so that people can just see. Edgar Wolf, as you know him, he is probably one of the, together with Biged and Saeed Majid, one of the best all-round sports persons and rugby players produced in this country. Edgar was also a good cricketer. Edgar, welcome. It's nice having you here. Then Dale Senton, one of my ex-students. I don't know, he he's one of the few people who has played Saru as well as Sakos, and he was a Springbok player. So Dale, welcome. Dale is doing exceptional work for the communities and putting back. And also the brother of our beloved Sadi Lippe Fredericks. I'm sorry, Sheikh is allowed to use the nickname.
All right.
Because I don't know, there's a lot of fatwas and these things coming out these days and one shouldn't use it. But Fufu, the brother of, I had to ask around what Fufu's name was, because, this normally happens. People come in that era, we only knew one another by the nicknames. And Mr. Joa Abrams, I had the misfortune having to do my practice teaching in Joa's class in 1974 at Athlone High School. And I never called him Joa because, he always had this presence of control and authority. And but I learned a lot from him as an administrator, as a player. He was also a great number 8 rugby player. Then Sansa down at the back is a lock mate of mine, Agates Tanagi. At the back there, a lot of you, Tanagi is every day in the Mosque, but you probably not know his nickname. Mervyn Johnson, Mr. Alec Pelston, Cecil Lategan, who has been a great inspiration as an administrator at City and Suburban, and then the great Paul Leo, who's played for Primrose his whole life, very, very good fullback. And then administrators, Joe Mace Jacobs at the back there, and see if I missed anyone. I hope not. But it's an honor to be here today. It's a privilege to deliver a tribute to our fallen heroes. Bomza was a great captain of the Kwaru team in the 70s and early 80s. And I need to just mention that Kwaru, under the leadership also of Chiki and Valance Watson during the Sakos years, played a great role in breaking down the barriers, the cultural barriers that existed between white and black in those years. And we need to also pay tribute to Valance, his brother, as well for the role that he played in the Eastern Cape. Now, as you all know, and it was alluded to by Jamia, that we played during a period of apartheid. But most of these players, although tempted, they were never tempted to go and join federation and become token players. And they sacrificed their talents. They could have been displayed on a bigger stage, but they felt true to the principles of non-racial sport. And to Salih's son, Salih used to phone me regularly because he was in the process of wanting to write his memoirs and the story and the role that rugby players played in bringing about the change in this country. And I hope that his memoirs and his writings that he has will one day be published. And we need to give, and I know Sheikh Imam Rashid is a very, very adept at bringing out writings with very, very little information.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jamaatul Muslimin. Taking leave from a parent is never an easy thing to do. One is never emotionally prepared already. You can never get used to the pain of loss and incompleteness. Let's also start to contrast the familiar feeling of comfort and belonging that the parent subconsciously instills in us by the mere presence. The recognition given to my father's life by this congregation and thousands of well-wishers and friends around the country has been important support for me and my family. To always say shukran for thinking of my father. We pray that the Almighty Allah reward you all and my father with the best, inshallah. My father was a selfless and humble man, and we are grateful that his efforts in trying to assist his fellow travelers in the rugby world and the wider communities of our country has been recognized the way it has been. As valiant as his efforts were, we know that he traveled the road accompanied by many others who together with him tried to make a stand for a better life for the unsung heroes who still inhabit the many settlements and townships. The values my father lived is in all of us. He never regarded himself as unique or especially talented. Came from humble beginnings. He tried to live his life true to the traditions of his faith and his community. He was full of life, love, and gave selflessly to others. I would like to thank you all once again for the love you have shown my father and the kindness shown to me and my family. May the Almighty be with you all, inshallah. Wa la hawla wa la quwwata illa billahi al-azim. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.